So if we think about light temperature, light burns at a certain temperature, and this is measured in degrees Kelvin. If you look at the worksheet, there's a small bar there which will give you indications of different light temperatures. And degrees Kelvin burns right from blue to red. As a basic guide, indoor light, let's say tungsten light, so tungsten light is light bulbs, burns at a lower light than outdoor light, so this burns at roughly 3200 degrees Kelvin, whereas sunlight later in the day will burn at 5600 degrees Kelvin. Okay, so this burns at blue, so the higher the number, the bluer the light becomes. At the bottom range, the redder that becomes. So the less light, the more red it is. So if we think about times of the day to shoot, thinking about days of heaven, because they shot it later in the day, was much more of a natural, a redder image. So this sets the tone for the piece. If we look at the following clips, you look at genres and think about, how much more blue they are in terms of what their genre is and the story that the filmmaker's trying to tell. Okay, so look at the worksheet, think about colour temperature, and think about how you can work with it. So the scale of light, and again this might seem complex, but you don't need to do any sort of equation to think about what your light temperature is, as a camera will take this and understand these controls for you by using the white balance. So our natural look, or the human eye, will automatically correct for temperature, whereas a camera isn't possible, it's not capable of doing this. So we tell it what temperature it is simply by pressing the white balance button. So by using a white sheet of paper, holding it in front of the camera's lens, zooming in on that piece of paper, pressing the white button, it will reflect light off and the camera will read the colour temperature of that light and balance accordingly. Again, you can change settings on the camera on the side button, the 151 with the A and B, and put two different settings at the same time in. You need to make sure you rebalance your camera every time you change the lights, if you go out between outside or inside. Any time when you think there might be a difference in colour temperature, otherwise your shot will generally come out red or more blue, and then in the edit you'll have to try and rebalance this by taking or adding away colours, but it will never become natural. Okay, if you try and do any effects with colour temperature, save these for the edit.